So you like cats?
Sam.
What? Dude shows up dressed like a cat. You don't want to know more?
Your suit. Vibranium?
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations. A mantle passed from warrior to warrior. And now because your friend murdered my father, I also wear the mantle of king. So I ask you, as both warrior and king, how long do you think you can keep your friends?
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah! Welcome back to another episode of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites with host Moe and Greg. I am Mo.
I'm Greg.
And we are back. We are back with another episode for who?
The people.
The people. Uncle G, how are you?
I am a lot better than I was.
That is good to hear.
Yeah.
That is good to hear. That is good to hear. And as you can see, we are not alone today. We are not alone today. For those who are listening, we are joined by a guest. We were introduced. First, let me introduce him. My good friend, new friend. My good friend Snaxx is in the building. Welcome. Let's go. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here.
Good. I'm glad to have you.
Welcome, sir.
I am glad to have you. We were put in contact by our good friends Porcelain and Yadon.
Yes,
and I do want to take a moment to congratulate them on the birth of their baby girl. They just had a very healthy baby girl.
Yes.
Congrats to them, and I want to thank them for putting us in touch with each other.
Yes.
You are a streamer.
I am a streamer.
And a lover of all things comic books and movies, as I am told.
Yes. Very much so.
Very much
Awesome.
so. That is what we are here. It is the perfect podcast for you to come and join.
Yeah, you are.
Because we are
welcome. You are welcome in this place.
Yes, because we also want to talk about all things podcasts, and we are here to talk about things and stuff.
And stuff and things.
And things and stuff.
And things and stuff.
And things and stuff. And stuff and things.
All of it.
And today, I want to get into a little bit because I saw recently that early rumors that Marvel is considering recasting the Black Panther.
Yes, they are.
And it was met with some backlash.
It's always going to be backlash.
Always.
With some backlash because there are those who believe that Chadwick Boseman was, and will always be the one and only Black Panther, and that they should never, ever recast him.
Go ahead.
And I would just like to, have a conversation about that. I'd like to know what you gentlemen think. So, Snaxx, I'm going to ask you first. What do you think?
So, as an avid reader of comic books, unfortunately, and knowing that characters are just a shell, and it depends on the writer who turns it to write for this character, you can do what you want. That's how comics are always been done.
Yeah, right.
You give your outline of this is Black Panther. These are 3 points to him. He has, if we're going to be current, his name has to be T'Challa. He has to be the king. He has to be the incumbent king coming on at this point.
Right.
And he can be smart, or he has to be a political leader. He has to be against his father's old way of teaching. That's the 3 main points to T'Challa as Black Panther.
Okay.
So I feel, because I'm an avid reader, this is an opportunity for the movies to do something really weird where you have a replacement. Because even in the comic books, Shuri has become the Black Panther when T'Challa hasn't been fit to be king. He hasn't been replaced. So I know people don't want to hear that this is precedent that he can be replaced as a king. But I also feel like there's a chance for you to not use T'Challa as a Black Panther. For you to either go into the pantheon of other Black Panthers and ask Bass for somebody to pick somebody else. Or Bass can be like, you know what? I want to change now. It's been going on for too long. Let me pick a random person that's not of the royal bloodline.
Wow.
And choose them to be as my emissary. Because that's basically the way you get chosen to be Black Panther is Bass chooses you, and it happens that the T'Challa's family has been the one that's been chosen for generations. but it's never. It hasn't always been his family. It's been other bloodlines that were chosen. So you can do that and say, oh, let's choose another bloodline. Very simple to do if you want to replace him. I just hope they don't do the unfortunate thing, which I know Disney was doing during the strike, which is just use his rendered face over somebody else.
Oh, no. No.
Above all else, I don't think they should. I don't think they should.
But like
do that.
they can use his son that we got in the Black Panther 2. Like I said, have Shuri be the Black Panther for now. Until he's old enough to take the mantle, until he's like 16, 15, 16.
Okay.
You age him up to like 15, 16 and say, hey, you got to be king now when he's not ready to be king. And he has to deal with the super new burden of being a teenage king.
Yes.
And everything's on your hands. Or you can while he's doing that, you can force a story of Shuri having to have a child. Because that's how, if we go into the real aspects of kingdoms and Black Panther, you need somebody of that bloodline to make another son.
Yes.
So you can have another king. We could have the T'Challa Jr. that we got at the end of 2 be there for now. Obviously, he's not old enough to make another kid because he's only 16 years old.
Yeah.
You make Shuri look for a suitor and she gets pregnant and have the new king like that.
I could like that. I can see how that works. That could also play into too as well, going back into the second movie with Namor and Talokan.
Yeah.
Because they seem to have some type of there was you could tell that they were connecting to a certain extent in that movie. So then you could definitely play that if she has to find a suitor. What better way than to merge the two kingdoms together, and then you can fight. It also solved problems because he was very we need to join together. He even suggested it.
Yeah, he suggested that we should. He join
suggested
together.
that we should join together
and work as two nations.
So then, what better way than a marriage? Because and then the conflict could come because what could possibly go wrong with two nations marrying to help?
Yeah.
Because of course the two nations, they're coming together under the premise of working together, being together. But then of course there's going to be people in the kingdom who don't agree.
You see it in the movies. They don't always, hey, whoa, outsiders. Whoa, what we doing now?
From both sides. And then you can have the detractors from Talokan and the detractors from Wakanda joining together because, of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it's I don't like you, you don't like me, but we both don't like this idea. So let's just work together to make sure that this doesn't happen so that we break apart, so we can just end this, disrupt this, and, just get rid of that whole thing together. But I think that is a good idea. I honestly think that recasting T'Challa should have been in the forefront of their minds. Don't get me wrong, Chadwick Boseman was a fantastic person to play the role. He will always be remembered for his role as T'Challa in the Black Panther. But let's be honest, it's superheroes. Superheroes don't live. What are we going to do if Chadwick Boseman got to live to the ripe old age of 95? We're not still going to expect him to be the Black Panther. But the story of the Black Panther is still going to be told. So we were going to eventually
replace him.
Replace him.
Yeah.
The sad part is that we weren't ready for it. We weren't ready for it.
No.
Which is I understand when he first died and the initial thoughts of replacing him came up. I was like, yes, they should replace him. No, we shouldn't be trying to do it right now because you don't want to we're not trying to, don't replace him now, but definitely replace him because he became a cultural icon. For not just superhero fans, but for little black boys and little black girls everywhere. So what we don't want to do is remove that from him. We don't want to remove that cultural icon for little black kids everywhere by not having someone in that role. I think we just got to sit down and do our homework and make sure that the next person who takes up the mantle is the actual right person for the job. Because I watched the second Black Panther. I've seen it twice. And I don't think that, I know that in the comics, Shuri does a good job in the role as the Black Panther. I don't think in the MCU, Shuri is doing a good job in the role as the Black Panther.
No.
Like, I don't think, like, nothing against her personally. I don't think Letitia Wright is the person who's supposed to take this and, like, carry it forward.
To the next level.
So I definitely think that it's time to recast.
Yeah.
Because we're going into 2025. He's been gone. I think that enough time has passed
Yeah.
so that now we can sit down and reapproach the conversation and try to figure out, you know, where do we go from here? Because let's be honest, the second movie didn't do numbers like the first movie did.
No.
So we definitely need to figure out, you know, as just as a company, where do we move from here? Especially now that, you know, everyone seems to be in this moment where they're trying to figure out, both Marvel and DC are now trying to figure out, how do we get back? Like, DC is just trying to figure out, how do we get on the board?
How we get a movie series started.
How do we just get on the board? Marvel needs to figure out, how do we get back on track to making the quality content we were making at one point, to where, like, you know, everyone is like vying to come see our movies, and they're talking about our movies like months and weeks after that. Because I can't remember the last Marvel movie that I went and saw that I talked about long after
It was gone.
it was gone from theaters, and like long after that I've seen it.
Okay.
I can't remember the last movie that I've seen. I think it might have been, was it Endgame? It still has like the staying power. Like, they haven't really done. Not that they haven't put out quality movies since then, because I will never say that they didn't put out quality movies since Endgame. But I think that the quality is definitely dipped.
Yes.
And they seem to be uncertain and unsure of where they want to take the MCU moving forward. I do hope Captain America, the upcoming Captain America movie, does good. I've already purchased my tickets to go see that. Yours as well.
Yes.
As you saw in the
Yep,
text
I got your
message, our
text.
picture.
Yep.
Tickets were purchased for that already.
Yes.
But yeah, what do you think about them recasting the Black Panther?
It's time. It's time. I thought it was time last time. But you know what? Again, and I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying too, Snaxx. Yeah, it wasn't. If we had done it for the second movie, it would have been too soon. I believe we're ready now, because again, he ain't coming back. As much as we would love to, you know, but yet he has solidified himself in a part of the Marvel culture, and not only just the Marvel culture, but film culture. Period.
Right.
He has solidified his part in all of that, and in the whole history of the Marvel movies and the movie fandom. He has solidified his part in all of that, and he will never, ever, 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 ever be forgotten. So now it is time to move on. I thought that was a good idea, and that was where I said after they had T'Challa Jr. introduced, I said, okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Even if he's too young by the next movie, by the time they do the next movie, you know, here's the thing. One thing about boy kings, they usually don't. They usually are pretty much just figureheads, and they're pretty much just figureheads. But they usually have a contingent of rulers or people around them who are instructing them, training them to be king, if anything. So again, it could be a dual. Oh my goodness, it could be actually it could be pretty decent. It could be an interesting story, because it could be a duel of him growing into not just the kingship, but also him being trained
to fight,
to
actually defend the Wakanda,
to be the next Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, it could be the making of a king. Yeah, you know, the making, and not only just the making of the king, the making of a hero. If they took the story and went that way with it, I think people might be a little bit more acceptive or receptive of it. But oh God! And somebody said, I don't know if it was you or Snaxx, said that what we don't want to do is see Chad Bowles, you just see his face superimposed.
I said that because I know every time you do a Disney movie, they body scan your whole entire body, all your face features, and then they say, when you sign this contract, we own those rights.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That's the whole point of the actors strike. You're actually
they were trying to fight that very hard. They didn't fight it completely, because they still Disney can still do it. But every time you do a Disney movie, you get a full body scan. And they have your rights.
Wow.
Not in perpetuity, for 10 to 15 years after you do the movie.
That sucks.
So if they wanted to re-image you or something else, they
can.
They could if they wanted to AI you, they could easily do
Yeah.
that. Wow.
And you signed away on it already, so
Wow,
there's
So
nothing you
there's nothing you can do at that point.
Wow.
So hopefully, you know,
We don't want that.
No, we do not
no,
want
that we don't want because that has.
To me, that diminishes the story. And for me, and I've said this in previous casts, for me, it's always about the story. And it would diminish the whole story, and it would just cheapen everything.
And it would cheapen his legacy and like all of the
it would
hard
just
work
cheapen
that he
everything.
used, all the hard work that he put in to build this character, to make it, you know, the character that we come to know and love. Because I watched both of these movies this week in preparation for today, and it's night and day different, the first movie and the second movie.
Yes.
Like the second movie is a lot better than I gave it credit for.
Yeah.
I will say that when I first saw Wakanda Forever, I was like, this is Namor's story in Wakanda, and like I was very, very critical of the story. I am not afraid to admit that I was wrong in some of my viewpoints about that movie, and that it is actually better than, you know, I initially claimed when I first saw it. But it's still nothing like watching the very first Black Panther. Like there's not like I saw that movie 4 times in theaters.
Yeah.
Not a single other Marvel movie has has got me like that where I've gone to see it 4 times in theaters. The closest was Deadpool and Wolverine, and I saw that 3 times in theaters, but that was by accident. That was by accident, and like it came at like it was my first viewing, but it was the 3rd ticket added, was kind of like in a last minute thing where it was like somebody couldn't go and it was like, hey, I have this ticket, you're coming now. So I was like, cool, we're going to go see it. But I purposely went and saw Black Panther 4 times, for like 4 different times in theaters, because I enjoyed that movie that much. Yeah. So I definitely need to make sure, like was sad when Chadwick Boseman died, but I definitely was like, his legacy and what he built needs to be protected, and it needs to be done right. But I do think it is time that we move it forward, and it's time that we pick it back up. There is going to be a Black Panther 3.
Yes. There is.
And it is not rumored anymore, but we were told that Denzel is going to be in this one.
Yes.
Doing what?
I don't know. That is, it's unknown.
I think he's one of that. So you remember, you know how when you take the fruit in, and you go to the astral plane to see Boss and see the other Black Panthers. I think they're gonna make Denzel one of the earlier versions of the Black Panther or ancestor. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully, Denzel is a king of a warring tribe. That wants to come and take over. Wow. Because you got to remember, like the whole Wakanda was very, very much an isolated nation in Africa.
Yes.
Now that as you said, the reason why 2 was deemed bad, their king is gone. It's now led by a queen. They are weak. Yeah. Let's go and invade and take their technology. And maybe that's what Denzel is doing. Denzel is going to pick.
He's going to play the villain.
He could pick his fighter, or his piece to like. I want to take over because he's old. I don't want him fighting. I don't want Denzel fighting. Yeah, I want Denzel to pick a representative. Go in here and take this for me, and then they have to figure out how we can defend ourselves in Wakanda.
See that I could get behind that. I could get behind that 100%. Yeah, because and you're right. And now that it doesn't even. It could be definitely like another warring nation in Africa, especially given that he kind of in the first one, at the end of the first one, gave very much, we are going to open up
and stop being isolation
and stop being isolated, and we're going to open ourselves up to the world and like start sharing our technology with the world, which they kind of just said
we changed our
screw that in the second one.
They did.
They definitely said, screw all of that, because every time somebody came looking for vibranium in the second one, they were like, no. Like you could tell when they brought what's the name brought them in front of the UN, that wasn't the first time that Wakanda has done that to like people looking for vibranium. You could definitely tell that wasn't the first time. So they were like, everything that he said we were going to do,
we ain't doing.
We're not doing any of that.
Not happening.
We're not doing any of that. And, you know, that is actually something to be said because, I mean, you can look at that with most like benevolent kings. Once they die, a lot of what they had going, the people who are in charge after they're gone, they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing none of that.
Go right back to our old ways.
Right back to
Instantly.
what? Instantly. It's just like all of that, scratch it.
We ain't like none of it.
None of it.
We ain't like none of it.
None
he
of
was
it
too
at all.
nice. He was too beloved. He was to share everything. Now we taking it all back.
Nah, we taking it all back.
So we will share our technology. In other words, we will share with you how we do things, but we're not going to share with you the thing that makes everything run.
But did they share the technology though?
No, they didn't.
No,
They didn't even do that. They didn't even do that.
They didn't even do that. But I'm just saying, they said my out would be it's like, well, I said I'd share the technology. I didn't share. But you have to get your own vibrator.
Yeah. And this isn't even that. They said they shared. They was like, listen, we didn't say that.
Yeah.
He said that.
That was his victory.
That was him. He said that. We didn't agree with that. He was just talking. We didn't know what he was going to get up there and say. He just started talking.
We were like, hold on now. Wait now.
Yeah.
Cut the mic. Cut the mic. Cut the mic.
Like, we didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah,
They were like, bro, you got to relax. So, you know, there is a lot that they could do moving forward with the Black Panther. And I think that Ryan Coogler at the helm is going to do great with it as long as he is given the green light with no pushback.
Yeah.
And I think with the money that he's brought in with those, with Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, I think he's kind of solidified himself so that when he's like, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do for 3, Marvel's not going to be like, you can sit down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Kevin Feige is going to be like, actually, scrap all of that. Here's what you're going to do. Yeah. I think he's definitely like solidified himself and he trusts him to be like, you know what, whatever vision you have for this movie, do your thing.
Yeah.
And we're with it.
See, the only thing is I'm hoping, and I hope when he does start working on it, and as that we as fans, because we have access to so much information, and sometimes that's to our detriment. And when we find out, well, Ryan's considering doing this, immediately we start inundating. No, you can't do that. Oh, no, let's give it.
Yeah, let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him do what he do. He has, again. I don't know about he has earned my trust. Yeah. I respect him as a writer, director, producer, and all of that stuff. I respect him as a visionary, and he is a visionary in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
That I would let him do what he do.
Absolutely. Because he's one of the ones that, can make Marvel money, which is why I'm glad they called the Russos back. And I heard that they called the Russos back, but when they first called, they said no.
Really?
Yeah. When they first called the Russos back, they were like, nah, I'm okay. Wow. But then, Kevin Feige had to beg a little bit. And I'm glad that they're coming back because, boy, are they needed.
Yeah, we could. Because I'm sure they got some stories to tell.
Yeah, and Marvel needs the help.
Yeah, we need to. They need just some good stories.
Yeah,
good story. They need some good stories.
They need the help. They need,
and they need people who are familiar with the way things are run and the way things go, and they need people who are familiar with the culture, with the whole culture, with the whole stories, backstories, and all of that. They need people who were there from the beginning. Now, again, does that mean that we don't open the door to some new voices and some new ideas and stuff? No, but I'm sure that somewhere along the line that these guys have gotten some news.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think that where that helps with the Russos is because they were there the first time, they know what not to do again.
Yeah.
So that, we're not trying to, because you could definitely tell that since Endgame is over, Marvel has been trying to make lightning strike twice.
Yes, they've been trying to build the same way they built.
Yeah.
With the face again, and it hasn't been hitting because they haven't worked together as a unit. Directors haven't sat down and figure out a bigger grand scheme on how to make everything connect.
Yeah. And I do get that they have had to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this whole, I'm sure that whole Jonathan Majors thing,
Yes.
like put like a big damper on a lot of what they had already planned and laid out.
Yeah.
And for them not being able to go with the Kang storyline, though they could still go with the Kang storyline.
And again, because it's variants to him.
Yes.
Use another actor.
Use another actor.
Just a different variant. That's all you.
That's all you got to say.
That's literally all you have to do. That's all you
really
have to say.
simple.
It's a variant. He changed.
He changed, exactly.
Because
it literally changed.
I always thought that it was crazy that like Strange, every variant of Strange looked the same.
Yeah.
For the most part, every variant of Kang looked the same.
Yes.
There's not a single Loki
That looked the same. No.
that looked the same.
All the Loki variants were different.
We're different.
Well,
You could do that.
You could do that.
We had Tom Hiddleston as our main Loki,
Right.
The one we recognized. All the other Lokis were different people.
We're different people.
Yeah.
Like you had a Spider-Man movie where you had multiverse Spider-Man, and none of them looked the same.
none of them.
It's very simple. You can do it. I guess they
like-
don't want to risk it.
Yeah, like you could just, there was no need, like especially because his Kang in Quantumania died.
They did.
They killed him.
Yeah.
Don't think he should have been able to,
Not.
but
He shouldn't have lost the fight.
yeah, he shouldn't have lost that fight.
No.
He shouldn't have lost that fight.
Lost that fight.
But sure, he lost the fight. Okay. But like that gives you your out right there.
Yeah.
To be like, you know what? It's still Kang.
It's a variant.
It's just a variant because it was one thing that Loki made very clear, the Loki series made very clear was they all had the same goal.
Yeah.
So you don't have to change the end game, like the end goal, because they all had the same goal. So just find a different actor and let them cook.
Yeah.
And let them go crazy.
Well, I was even saying, because even towards the end of, I think it was Quantumania, you find out, and even in the comic books,
Council of Kangs.
that Kang was several different. He was Kang. I believe he was also a character called Rama Tut.
Because the way Kang works is he is a future. He's from the 30th century.
Yeah.
He is a Richards, but not like our doctor, not like the regular Reed Richards we know.
Right.
But he is a Richards, so he's somewhat of a descendant. He discovers technology because he's very smart. He realized that timelines multiply. He understands his multiple of himself. He said, I want to go back in the past and be better. So when he goes back in the past, he disguises himself as Rama Tut for a while.
Yeah.
And try to build, because he's trying to get the technology that makes Apocalypse. So that's the connection right there with mutants. He's trying to get that technology because Apocalypse is a mutant alien hybrid. Abin Sur is a person who's able to absorb alien technology. He's a person who can manipulate matter. But with the alien technology, that's where he turns purplish blue and become metallic, because the alien power boosted him up. So now he control matter at a different level. Kang wants some of that technology because he realized how fast and how mass it can be overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually goes back as Rama's Tut in the same timeline as Apocalypse and stuff like that. But he always gets stops because he's a bad guy. So I got to run away now.
Yeah.
And then he decides, you know what? I can't do this on my own. Let me talk to other variants of myself.
Yeah.
Like, because the first council of multiverse people was Reed Richards, actually, because he was smart. Because not only does his limb stretch, his brain stretches, so he's able to figure like, oh, it's probably another version of me that's just as good, but a little bit smarter in some aspects. So let me look at the multiverse. Oh, I've discovered myself again. Let's secure it. Let's make a council of 64 of us. We can monitor everybody else, help each other out on big things and concept like that. So Kang does the same thing. He wants to do evil.
It was Kang, Rama Tut, and then there was a third one.
There's a third. I can't remember the third identity. There's a third false identity.
There were three of them.
Iron Lad. He runs around as Iron Lad for a little bit to pretend to be a hero to get on their good side to steal more technology. He's a crafty man. I would give him that. He's a very crafty fellow. Very crafty fellow. So.
And I believe there's a scene in Quantumania where they show the three of them.
Yes,
they show the three of them together.
I think it's like a mid-credit or an end-credit scene.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's an end-credit scene because then you see the whole council of Kangs coming together, and I'm like, bro, just pick one.
Pick one.
Just pick one of those. Just pick one of those guys in the background.
Yeah, just pick one of the guys who because You see a couple of them up close.
Yes.
Everybody else are just like blurred figures cheering in the back. Just decide one of the blurs that you like the most.
Pick him.
And then, unblur them, finish the design. But lo and behold, it's not Jonathan Majors. Yeah. It's a different actor. And here you go. Because then I like that. Go back and bring in Ramatut, because we are still waiting for Marvel to introduce the mutants to us properly now that they are back home.
Yes.
Like, Deadpool and Wolverine was cool, but sure, there are more than just Wolverine and Deadpool. Like, there are other mutants a lot more that I would love to see in the MCU.
That was I'll say this, that was a very hurtful time for me as a comic book reader.
Yeah.
All the time that Fox had the X-Men, Marvel wasn't writing comic books with them at all. Yeah. Because they want to give them source material. So for a long time in comic book reading, I was just starved of stuff to read. Yeah. Because I am an avid X-Men reader.
Me too.
And they were just starved. Like, we're not going to feed them anything. Yeah. Just let them run out.
Let them figure it out.
Let them figure it out for themselves. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And I'm like, bro, I get it, because I'm still just trying to figure out how, and maybe I could just do more research on that and just figure out how Marvel even got to that point where other companies and where other companies got the rights.
I could tell you how.
Yeah, please do.
So in the 90s, Marvel was struggling. All comic book industries were struggling to produce comics. Nobody was buying anything. Yeah. Marvel's top sellers: Spider-Man, X-Men, Incredible Hulk. Okay. We need to make money. We got to figure out how. Sell the rights to Sony gets Spider-Man. Yep. Fox gets the X-Men. Universal Studios gets Hulk. Universal Studios made theme parks around the Hulk and produced the two Hulk movies. X-Men movies were actually doing good according to Fox. It made enough money. They still had the TV shows from Fox, so they were making money off of that. And Sony was like, let's make the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, and that gave them all the gangbusters they had. Marvel took that money that they got from selling out, scrambled it up. Let's sell some characters to Capcom for the Marvel's Capcom series, and start using Iron Man, because all they had left was the scraps. So like, a lot of people say Iron Man is very popular now, but the reason why we got Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor in those three movies is because comic book wise, they were not selling during the 90s. Yeah. They were B characters at that point, legit B characters. That's why they had all the bad video games, all the bad TV series. I don't know if you watch Iron Man as the cartoon on Fox. They had all those bad shows because that's what they had left over. Like, that's all we got. That's all the scraps we got. They hit with Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man, and that's like, it might work. Let's try Captain America now. Chris Evans hit. Oh shit, let's keep it going. Yeah. Then you had Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Like, we can do something. These B characters have become A characters now. Let's try to get our A characters back. But if you're Sony and Fox, like, we're not selling it back to you. We're making money too. We're making money too. We're not gonna sell it back. So then Marvel said, let's starve them out on X-Men. They couldn't starve out Spider-Man because they still need to sell comic books. So they kept writing Spider-Man. Spider-Man legit is top 5 selling comic books all time, just consistently. Okay. So they can't stop producing. I'm like, damn, we're gonna lose a lot of money if we don't make Spider-Man. We gotta keep making Spider-Man. That's how come Sony was able to keep making movies. Even though it made Spider-Man, people didn't like it. It made sense because that's an Amazing Spider-Man comic run. Let's take that. Then you had the newest Spider-Man. Yeah, is a merger of Peter Parker and Miles Morales in a sense, as Peter Parker's still in high school. He has a friend that's Asian, unfortunately, and he's smart and in a little smart charter school. And he has a teenager who's becoming a man and being Spider-Man. So that's literally just all comic book stuff they take that they were still writing. They was like, let's just take this and use it. But the X-Men, they starved the X-Men out. Eventually, Fox messed up, and they bought X-Men back. Yeah. So, like, I think Marvel might. There's multiple ways Marvel can introduce the mutants. I believe. I believe they started a couple times with Namor obviously being a mutant. They just outright say it. Phantom. Monica Rambeau, I was gonna call her Phantom. She's a mutant now because she absorbs life differently. They didn't say her and Kamala. Yeah, Ms. Marvel are both mutants. They just not outright saying it. Even though they said it in Kamala show that she's a new thing called a mutant. Right. They want to. They decided they're going to introduce it. I think the Snap was the catalyst. The Snap and the Eternals was the catalyst for them to bring mutants into the MCU because comic book wise, the Celestials made mutants because they made the Eternals, the Deviants, in humankind, but they put a seed in humankind to mutate.
Yeah.
In advance. So that's how I think with the I forget his name, the one that's on the Earth.
Okay.
When he tried to
Tiamat.
when Tiamat tried to get waken up
Yeah.
and then stop, I think that activated some genes in subhumans.
Okay.
It activated the X gene in them and triggered it, and now you might see mutants popping up here.
See, that's awesome. That's awesome. See that the Eternals is more important.
Yeah, the Eternals are very important.
They're more important than it likes to be recognized.
I like that movie.
I did too.
I like that movie.
Okay, I can't lie. When I first saw it, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I recently I rewatched it towards the end of last year, and I had to come back and I had to like apologize because I was like, this movie is actually it's really good. Like it's definitely not as bad as people make it out to seem.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this movie, I think, again, like I said, that movie was just placed wrong.
In the wrong spot, yes.
Yeah, it was just placed in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Like, if they, like, because I think it was one of the first movies after Endgame. That's not where
It shouldn't have been that.
Yeah.
that movie should have been placed.
I think
definitely
the biggest
not.
problem with the Eternals was it tried to go to the grand scale way too fast.
Yeah.
Because with Celestials, you recognize how feeble the Thanos snap was, or Captain America as a hero is.
Yeah.
When you see an embodiment just runs, that's flashed to our planet and shakes the whole entire thing, and it's nothing they could do. It's nothing that Iron Man them could have did to stop that Celestial at that moment. Not
Nothing,
a damn
yeah.
thing. So you jump too fast in scale. You jump way too fast. You can't go from Thanos to celestial beings that are just hovering our universe. They are bigger than our planet, and they shake our planet once they get close. You can't jump that fast. You got to get at least 6 movies in between that.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like, bro, like, they just, by the skin of their teeth, did they beat Thanos.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, if y'all just beat him,
You gonna beat this thing that shook the planet?
like, how?
And you just all you saw was his face. You didn't see his whole entire body.
Exactly.
You just saw his face. The sky went black as soon as
he showed
everybody
up.
saw him. And not a human being on the planet Earth didn't see that giant head. Like, oh, what was
What are we
that?
gonna do? Yeah.
What is that?
Exactly.
Everybody just shitting bricks. What is that?
So there's, I do think that
I have not rewatched it yet, but I keep saying I have to go back and rewatch it because I haven't. I'm still a little in the background with that.
yeah, you definitely should, but take out the fact, like I said, take out the fact that where it was placed.
Yeah.
I think that movie does 10 times better if it's placed, like, if the movie comes out, if let's say like next year.
Wow.
Yeah,
This movie
it'd be
like,
a lot better.
Now don't change a thing. Exact same movie. Let it come out next year.
Wow. Okay.
Because then you can let Captain America, because then it'll...
Okay, I see where you're going with that because again, even when the Eternals came, when they said they were making the Eternals, I was like, where are they placing that? Where is this? Where
Timeline-wise, you're trying to
yeah,
find a way to place
where
it.
it was
Yeah.
like, where are they placing this in the storyline and in the quote unquote storyline or the post end game, the post end game storyline? Where are they placing this? What is this? Yeah, and I just had a whole problem with it from the beginning.
Because what it'll do is, right, if the movie came out next year, what it can do is what Marvel used to do with their, like, when Marvel was actually telling really wonderful stories, you could go in, right, and because Captain America, at some point in this Captain America movie, he is going to fly past Tiamat. So at some point, it is going to, it's a point in the movie.
Yes.
So what you could have done is just have him fly past Tiamat. Everybody's wondering what that is, how that got there. Why is no one talking about how it got there? And then you say, coming soon, The Eternals. And you drop that movie explaining exactly how Tiamat got there.
Gotcha.
So then it's cool because it lets you get, it gets you excited about what's to come with Marvel again. And then The Eternals comes out and they just pay a little nugget with that whole line, why weren't you guys there for the snap?
Yeah.
So then it lets you, like, it brings it back to that because that line was, when that movie came out, the snap had just recently happened. So bringing that up, yes, it was a valid question, but it was right after the snap happened. So like, it was too soon for that line.
Yeah.
So what happens now is it gives the snap and all that happened for the snap time to breathe, and it also it builds you up to now the Celestials are important again.
Gotcha.
Yes, it does.
Especially now that we got that episode of What If with
I was just thinking about with the same
Agatha.
thing.
Yeah.
Agatha and
absorbing all the power.
yeah,
and
absorbing the powers and becoming a Celestial.
Yes. Yeah.
So I hope they do more with that. I really hope they do more with
I
that.
don't know if you've seen the trailers for Brave New World and for Captain America, but that's how they're going to introduce adamantium. So that's the sneak way of introducing Wolverine. That people are thinking. Because people, the whole time the Tiamat's been sitting there, they've been trying to harvest it, the actual Tiamat, and see what we can get from him. And his body is made of adamantium, so they're going to try to siphon it like that. So that's so me being big brain, because I read too much and know too much about these characters, I feel like the plan in the new Captain America movie is the leader. I don't know if you know what the leader is.
No. I know
So the leader is gonna he wants to get the adamantium because he wants to build a race of superhumans that he can control. So he wants the adamantium, keep working on his gamma radiations to control it and not have it just be raged out Hulk. So, and I think Thunderbolt Ross is a side effect of what the leader did. I think the leader was working for the U.S. government, was able to create Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk, and he was like, and then they said, "Nah, get away from here. We got what we want. You can leave now." And he feels monitored, diminished by his government.
Yeah.
And he wants revenge now because like, oh, you guys think little of me. I will show you how strong I am. I may not be physically strong, but I'll show you how strong I am.
I am
mentally
Yeah.
strong and mentally smarter than all of you guys. And I will figure it out, and I will take over the world. So I think that's going to be the grand scheme of the Captain America break.
See, I like that.
I like that.
That's cool too, because then it'll just keep Cap doing what Cap movies have been doing. Because for me personally, the Cap trilogy is one of Marvel's best trilogies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because Captain America, what was it? The
First Avenger.
The First Avenger. Fantastic movie. Winter Soldier is one of my top 5 favorite Marvel movies ever that they ever released.
I like Winter Soldier the most because it was a spy movie with superheroes in it.
Yeah.
That was, so my thing with early Marvel is they were just movies with superheroes on top of it.
Yes.
That's all they did was like change Jason Bourne, put Steve Rogers in that spot.
Exactly.
And we're going to make it work.
Yeah.
That's all they did in those early movies.
And then Civil War, I really enjoyed Civil War. I wasn't rooting for Cap. I was definitely Team Tony.
What team were you? Team Tony or Team Cap?
I was Team Cap.
I've always been Team Cap, even from the comic books.
Yeah.
Civil War is the most important Marvel movie for me.
Okay.
Because it made me change my mindset. Because I've read, like, before Civil War was a movie, I read that comic book 3 times.
Okay.
In its entirety.
Yeah.
It probably is top 3 favorite comic storylines for me. Top 3. Everything they changed the movie, at first I was upset because, like I said, I read this book 3 times.
Yeah.
I read this book to friends because I want people to see how good this book is. God damn it.
Yeah.
I was purposely you got to read this. If you're not gonna read it, I'm gonna read it to you. Because
Okay.
you gotta enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. Then when the movie came out, I was like, this is not what I read.
No.
I don't like this.
No.
And I was like the author me, balled up fist. I don't like this.
Yeah.
You get me mad. That I had to accept, all right, the movie's not gonna be a direct book. They're not gonna be directly what the book are.
Right.
In no aspect. This is their interpretation of it. I have to accept it as this is their interpretation of the original story, and they're gonna change it. I sit there and accept it, and once I started doing that, I started enjoying the movies a lot more, and I had more fun doing that.
Yeah.
But that's why Civil War is the most important Marvel movie to me, because it made me change my thinking behind comic book movies, and I just got to accept that. And it's a different person telling the story.
Yeah.
It's the same story, but a different way of telling it.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. But like, so I hope that what I was mentioning the Cap series, because if it does all that you've just predicted that it's gonna do, it's just going to solidify, which already solidified, that Captain America's Marvel's best trilogies. Like of the Marvel trilogies, Captain America has the best one.
Yeah.
Like, because Iron Man 1, great movie. Iron Man 2, 3, I enjoy.
3 you enjoy?
No.
I enjoy.
No. No.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I enjoy. Well, listen, you don't like Christmas movies, okay? You don't really care for Christmas movies.
I like how you said no.
No.
I enjoy the third movie.
Okay.
Simply because the last 20 minutes is what I just needed more of. Because I liked all of the different suits, and I'm like, you should have.
Yes.
I would have liked to have seen more of them, and I just would have liked to have seen them like fleshed out and like real world use.
Yeah.
Other than just trying to fight all of these different meta humans.
I will say this: Iron Man should have been a James Bond's Mission Impossible character. If you want to do it, if you want to do more trilogies,
Yeah.
where he's forced to use the suits for different situations.
Yes.
And different missions. He does, because most of the time when you see Iron Man, he has one suit throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He switches at the end. You shouldn't have done that. Since he has these multiple suits, give him reasons to use different suits in different missions or for different reasons. You can literally have a plethora of suits. And if you want to go for marketing, you have literally a plethora of toys you can sell to kids.
Exactly.
By him switching the suits in the movie to do a different mission and have something else to take on.
Now, honestly, that part of the movie was the only part of the movie that I liked.
Yeah, I'll admit that the rest of it is a bit of a, slop fest, but, I do appreciate one. I will always enjoy this movie because Tony Stark made a guy's telephone upgrade in real time. It's definitely a continuity error, but it's one of the best continuity errors because there's a guy where he's being interviewed. There's a guy where Tony's being interviewed by like massive people. I think this is like before or after the Mandarin mentioned him.
Yeah.
He's being interviewed, and the guy who's interviewing him has a flip phone. They pan from that guy, but when they pan back to him, he has an iPhone. So it's little nuggets like that. It's a continuity error again for sure. But the fact I like to look at it at the fact that that guy's phone saw that it was in the presence of Tony Stark and just upgraded itself.
Like a transformer?
Yes, like a transformer. It pulled a bumblebee.
It pulled the bumblebee.
That guy's phone pulled a bumblebee and just upgraded itself in the presence of Tony Stark.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
And I mean, you gotta admit, it was kind of cool when he was just like, listen, this is my address. If you want me, come get me. And the fact that the guy was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come get you.
Yeah.
And like
for me, the only part about that one, the whole movie, like I said, the last 20 minutes, last part of the movie, I understand, I get with that. But the whole thing for me, I was a big, growing up, again, I'm a comic book nerd too, so I'm a big comic book fan. One of Iron Man, I kind of liked Iron Man, but I liked Iron Man villains. And one of my biggest villains that I liked was the Mandarin.
Okay.
And when I found out that they were going to do the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, I was excited. I was, oh God, this is going to be really good. And then when they did what they did, I was like, what is this? I was sitting in the theater. I was mad.
well, they rectified it. They rectified it
later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Shang-Chi, when you find out that the 10 rings, and you find out who the real Mandarin is.
Yeah.
See?
They rectified it in that, they did fix that issue.
See, no, not for me.
Well, see, you don't like that movie.
I didn't like that one.
You didn't like that one either.
And you know why?
You don't like Shang-Chi?
I did not like Shang-Chi because I was a big fan of the comic book.
Okay.
And again, this was one of the stories that they deviated so much from. Again, Shang-Chi in the comic books was the son of the nefarious Fu Manchu. And the whole storyline behind him. And so to have them go from that to do this in Shang-Chi in the movie version, I was like, this ain't working for me either. And then to have them try to bring the Mandarin back into that, I was like, Oh, they are just not winning me with this one. I said to this day, and I've said this on our previous cast. I said they still, I said they still owe the Asian community for that one.
Well, I mean,
I think it's a good reinterpretation of it because you can't do Fu Manchu and you can't do original Mandarin because it's
kind of
culturally
offensive.
Super culturally
offensive.
Very offensive. So they had to change it. I think they did. I feel they did a good job changing it at least to make it not as offensive.
I didn't. I thought I did not think they did a good job.
Okay.
With I was offended.
So let me ask you this then. You were offended. You gotta pick one, right? Mm-hmm. You've gotta pick one.
Okay.
You picking the Mandarin from Shang-Chi or you watching Sir Ben Kingsley again? You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
Okay. Oh no. I will
Sir
never.
Ben Kingsley?
No.
Shang-Chi.
No. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. That thing they did that was a waste of a good actor.
No, it wasn't. That was a perfect.
I'm not gonna lie.
Use.
I love how good he went to the role.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like that's the thing about dramatic actors. They can do comedy really well.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna play it super straight and they know exactly how to time the joke. And I feel Ben Kingsley was amazing in prison.
I thought he did great.
He was amazing in prison.
And even in
Actually,
his role in Iron Man 3, bringing him back the prison short that they did for him right before Shang-Chi came out.
Yeah.
And even in Shang-Chi, he was great.
He was in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
He did do it even. Yeah, okay.
I thought it was great. Listen, I had a great time. But again, this is the difference between the two of you and I, because I haven't been reading comics like that. So for most of this stuff, right, this is like me seeing it on TV is me, like me seeing it in the theaters is me going into it blind, having no real prior knowledge to it. So it's just like, I have nothing to compare it to. And I find that sometimes, especially with Marvel movies, it is better when you don't have, it's better, it makes for a better viewing experience where you don't have to compare it to anything else at all.
Yes.
Because like sitting there watching certain movies and like having an extensive knowledge of the character, you're just like, this is crap.
Yeah.
That's why I let it go. That's why I told Civil War was important to me. Civil War was the most important movie to me because I let that feeling go.
And I've learned, and I had to learn the same thing. I had to learn to kind of like just let it go. It's like, all right, give you the permission to just tell the story in a whole new way, and just turn off, just forget everything I know. Literally, I would have to go into a theater and forget everything I know about the character, everything I know about the backstory, and just allow the story
like this new storyteller to tell.
Because what you realize is, one, they're telling these stories for comic book fans, yes, but not just for comic book fans. It's like we are using these characters that comic book fans know and love, but we also are trying to pull in
the general audience,
non-comic book fans. We're trying to like gain new fans. So we have to put in some things that will interest and intrigue them too. So I think that's why a lot of it is never really like comic book accurate. Although that and a lot of things will get you canceled.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of early characters.
Yeah.
A lot of early
characters.
All comic book characters.
Yeah.
If from their start would have got you canceled. Today.
They'll get you
Every
canceled.
last one of them. Every last one.
So, they're trying not to do that. So to keep from that happening, they're gonna switch it up. But one more thing. Speaking of getting canceled. Your girl, you like her a lot. Jean Smart said in a recent interview when asking about the fires in LA and just, prayers up to all who have lost so much, out there. She said that the award shows should be canceled and that all the money used on those shows should go to help the people like of that area who've been affected.
Yeah, she did say that.
She did say that. Yeah.
Okay.
The Oscars have put out
a statement.
A statement letting everyone know, no. The Oscars are happening.
They're like not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're like we are not canceling.
We'll send them a donation.
They said, I think the Oscars specifically said we're going to show the people that we have the strength.
Yeah,
and
that we
times
have
of
the strength.
adversities that we're going to proceed with the showing.
And I just wanted to talk about that briefly because especially like that part, the showing the strength, because I'm like, yeah, you're showing the strength of celebrities, but
celebrities, exactly.
What like is not being talked about enough is that celebrities are not the only people in LA that are being affected by this fire. And it's like, if you're one of those people who are not a celebrity and you don't have like millions of dollars to just like rebuild your house when this all when this all is done, I think you would much rather have a show of support in the form of funds.
Oh no, I do agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. Maybe not so much that they should cancel everything, but if you're going to do that, maybe do that and you're talking about showing the strength, do it on the strength of the fact that, all right, every actor, every participant, everybody who was participating this year in the Oscars, we are giving a collective donation. Everybody, every celebrity, giving a collective donation to the people who have been hit the hardest and may not be able to rebuild.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying cancel it or that maybe it should be canceled. But again, enough the people that are quote unquote the people that are there, they're not the ones being hardest hit. Come on. Somebody like let's just I'm gonna throw out a name, just De Niro. If he had a house out there,
right.
Again, that's one of several houses. He's like, okay, I may have lost some stuff here, but again, I'm not hurting the same way my neighbor a couple of miles down the road who can't rebuild. He said, I could come back and rebuild if I choose to. But again, my neighbor down the road, they can't.
Yeah, this is it.
So if they came together collectively, so in other words, maybe make that a stipulation. If you're going to participate in this year's Oscar ceremonies, we're asking that everybody who's participating this year, that you give $500,000.
Yeah.
Collectively, at the end of the day, that's going to be a substantial amount of money.
Yes.
And
it'll help.
And it would definitely help.
And the rebuilding of just like everything, because it looks like a barren wasteland out there.
No, I do agree. I think I had read somewhere that Beyonce gave
she gave $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah, I think it was $1 million.
Yeah, so it was. I know it was some big amount, but something like that, something substantial. I'm not talking about giving
Yeah, I'm not talking about giving like half your money, right?
Yeah, I'm not trying to give you all. I'm not emptying your bank account.
Yeah.
Because again, you got to live too. But again, give something substantial. And when you put it all together and you're
give your equivalent of $20.
Right.
Give your $20. If you make billions, give your equivalent of $20 to a regular person.
Or y'all should just go to what's the name's house collectively. Like half y'all go to Bezos' house, other half go to Elon's house, because the two of them combined could rebuild California, and it wouldn't affect either one of them in the slightest.
Yeah, it wouldn't. You're right.
It wouldn't affect either one of them in the slightest.
See what I'm saying?
It would be the biggest tax write-off for the both of them if they were just like, you know what, you want to build half, I'll build half, because.
They can do it.
They could do it like by themselves. They can do it and still be two of the richest men in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's just not saying I'm not advocating for violence. I mean, advocating for violence. I'm not saying y'all should actually go to these people's houses and force them to do anything. I'm just saying it's an option.
It is an option. Because I would say the reason why she's saying cancel the award show is because when they do that award show, they're going to have to bring out police officers and firefighters. And let's say they lost their homes. They don't feel like working that day because they lost their homes. They forgot to rebuild. Instead of wasting that time and calling them out to work, you just give them the money and help them rebuild their homes.
Gotcha.
So that's whenever there is an award show in the city, they They command police. They
Yep.
command fire
Command
department.
fire, yep.
And they command ambulances.
Yep.
And they cut off traffic.
Yep.
So
Yeah, this is
you
true.
could just save that money and just give it to them that right.
Right. Now you are still, giving jobs because there's no food at the Oscars, is there?
No, it's the after parties are catered. I don't
Yeah.
think at the show they get food, but I know it's
No.
catered after.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
So that'll still help to some extent.
Yeah.
If you still have those after parties, but
Yes.
like you're just hiring people for what? To get like a stone statue. But then again, if you don't get said stone statue, right? What do you do if, like, how would you
They send it in the
feel?
mail. They can send it in the mail.
Yeah, like because I mean, if 2020 told us nothing, it's that things can still happen.
It can still happen.
whether or not we are all sitting together.
You're right.
Well,
Things will still get done.
Things will still
Things
get
will
done.
still get done.
So you can still have the award show.
Back from intermission. Back.
Yeah, what was I just saying?
You were saying paying the cater. Oh, because 2020 everybody has accessibility to cameras now.
Yeah, like it's super simple
Sure
to
it
just
is.
set up a camera.
Zoom took off.
Zoom took off.
Yeah.
Zoom
took
Yeah.
off during award shows, and there's so many other different streaming services now that you could use that you could just have this award show right at like a minimal budget,
super minimal.
super minimal budget, and just be like, here's your award, like, because let's be honest, you already, for the most part, you already know, right? Like who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Like you already know who's winning. So like that's not really that big a deal. You can just give them their award, have it mailed to their house, and just so that once it's announced that they won, they have the award, so then they can just make their acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be a lot shorter.
Acceptance speeches will be way more controlled.
Way more control.
Yeah, it would be
because people just be
definitely-
rambling.
And you don't have to play. You want to hit the pay them off button.
Right.
Or you could say,
You could just end the call.
You could just end the call. Hey, don't need to play me on, but
I don't need to play them off. Just end the call.
the call over. You're right.
Call over.
Call over.
And then we just keep going.
Because they love to hit that button for end the play them off music.
Yeah.
I got the mic. I got hot mic. You can't.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
I'm gonna talk louder than the music.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk louder than the music.
But
if I just end the call,
If I just end the call,
we lost them.
man. Sorry, they're gone.
I'm so glad he got his
sorry. I
award.
know what happened. Wi-Fi signal just went out sometimes. It's not always the greatest.
But he's appreciative of the award,
Yeah.
and we're glad that he gave us a response.
Exactly.
Let's move on to the next
And then we
person.
can move on to the next one. So
legit, legit. That's how you cut off everybody's long speech.
Yeah.
just like that.
Just end the call for the Zoom. So I think I might enjoy that better because I'm not a fan of award shows, as I've mentioned multiple times before. But if that was the thing,
Do you think they're performative award shows? You think they're very performative, or you don't like the aspect of getting an award for art?
Well, no, I definitely think that people should get their awards for like art.
Okay.
It's for me most times it's the speeches.
Okay.
The speeches are long, they're drawn out. We get that you have to thank everybody and their mother who like you feel brought you to this point. I forget which award show there is. There is one award show where the people are winning the award and they have their thank yous, but it's shorter because at the bottom of the screen,
I like that.
they also put up the people who they really want to thank.
Okay.
Like that's where most times like the production companies and things like that, they put it down at the bottom. If you could do that for like every award show,
everybody.
I'd be
that
careful
would be
because why are
good.
we sitting here for 3 hours?
Yeah. Yeah. That.
Why are we sitting here for 3 hours?
Bro.
Because if most times like it's hit or miss whether or not you're, like whoever's hosting is going to be funny.
Yes.
And whether what they're going to do is going to be great. And until recently, I think a bigger part of my problem with award shows where I didn't watch half of the movies and things that were nominated. So I had no idea. So I didn't really like care one way or the other.
Yes.
Because we are here, like because I'm here now, we're here doing the podcast. I do find myself watching more
everything in the categories,
everything in the categories just to make sure that I am well informed and then I'm saying that like this person shouldn't have won that award, but how do you know if you didn't see the movie?
Yes.
The movie. Yeah.
Like if you
Get
didn't
a
see the
better
movie,
understanding of why these things won.
So I think that I just didn't really have a good time. But I did at the Golden Globes weren't terrible. Last year's Oscars, I had a great time.
Okay.
I really enjoyed last year's Oscars, but I think that was about it. All of the other shows for me just kind of dragged on.
Okay.
But I'm generally not just they're not really for me. I think that you should still do award shows, but I definitely think that they could be shortened.
Yeah, they could be controlled or a little bit better. Because they've evolved from being, because I'm sure when they did the first one that they ever did was not 3 or 4 hours long.
No, not at all.
You know,
Except
they have evolved to that.
What was the one where what's the award show where everybody's drunk by the end of the night?
Golden Globes.
Really? It's the Golden Globes?
Golden Globes.
Everybody seemed really sober this year.
This year they were sober, man.
Everybody seemed really sober.
Everybody was real sober.
Because usually by the end of the Golden Globes, everybody in the room is super drunk.
Super drunk.
Super drunk.
Having a good time.
So, like, awards, like the acceptance speeches then, way better than the acceptance speeches at the beginning of the night.
Yeah, man.
You don't hit a sober mind?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
The acceptance speeches, that the later you are on the Golden Globes, the more likely that you're going to get up there and make an absolute fool of yourself.
Because these people are drunk, and you can tell, because especially like, the white people get up there, their faces are like super red.
Oh my God.
And like everybody, like they get up there and they're flushing, they're sweating.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Some of the best acceptance speeches you will ever hear
my goodness.
are in those moments towards the end of the show where everybody's drunk.
There was one. I'll never forget. There was a 1 year, and they didn't do it towards the end. They did it towards the end, but they did a special award for Eddie Murphy for comedy.
Oh boy!
And Tracy Morgan was the one up there. Was the one who introducing him. And by this time, this was like towards the end of this, and they were all. You could look at them and tell that they were drunk. And Tracy was slurring and just repeating stuff. And Eddie is standing behind him, and he had his head down, and he is cracking up.
I'm pretty sure Eddie enjoyed that.
Oh my God, it was so. I'm sitting there like, this year, I didn't see as much alcohol flowing in the room.
No, this year I saw a lot of water.
A lot of water bottles.
A lot of water on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was part of it, because I think last year there was a and maybe this could be why, because I think last year Ciroc was sponsoring the Golden Globes. I think Ciroc was sponsoring the Golden Globes last year.
Okay.
But this year, no, I think this year Saratoga, the water company, was sponsoring this year's award show. Okay. So they had that on the table. Last year, every table had like Ciroc? 2 or 3 bottles of Ciroc on the table.
Damn.
Yeah. Alcohol was flowing.
It was flowing. So, if award shows aren't going to be like that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because you
could just do it on Zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
But you run the risk if you do it on Zoom, the person at home might be really enjoying themselves, and instead of drinking, they might be partaking in other things that get them relaxed. And you might see the true side of some actors in Hollywood. You might.
Oh my goodness, that's
true.
Would be funny.
That would be fun to watch, though. I think that would definitely be fun to watch.
That would be fun to watch.
It would be an interesting watch.
Why is that room so cloudy?
So cloudy.
Nah, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Like, Matthew McConaughey, especially Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What you said? That? I won. Matthew McConaughey like that. No,
like, I won.
Get this out my face. Get this out my face. Hold on. I can't see that.
Somebody turn on the fan.
Yeah, that would be. See,
I feel more award shows. No, I know they started doing it more in recent years. I feel like they need more emphasis on the background people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People who actually work the hardest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the actors don't work hard. It's not their job to convey feelings to us, but the people who run in lines.
Yeah.
With the camera work, sound effect people, stuff like that. Stuntmen. I really feel. I know they made the Stuntman movie a couple of years ago, but I feel stuntmen need more recognition because they are unfortunately working harder than most actors most of the time.
Absolutely.
Taking the punishing bumps, doing the falls, during the action, and they're the ones that you still their bodies are the one that convey the emotion to us.
Yeah.
In the movies, beside the actors' faces,
With the exception of Tom Cruise, but
Tom Cruise has his own stunts. Yes,
Yeah, but he a different person.
yeah, he's totally
whole
different.
different
beast.
person, whole
Yeah.
different beast in his own.
That Scientology is just keeping him going, man. It's just keeping him alive, man. Listen, I get it. It's money there. It's money there. I almost got kidnapped. I gotta stop saying that. I didn't almost get kidnapped. I was
I take a second.
Yeah. I wasn't.
You was
kidnapped,
talked to. There was a
but
conversation with you.
There was a conversation, and not even a conversation. I don't know what happened. Me and a couple of my friends were going to the movies in the city.
Yeah,
and we were walking. And I was walking ahead, I was walking, I don't know how I ended up walking ahead of them. But then I just happened to turn around and they weren't going towards the movie theater anymore. And there was a lady in like a suit. And we followed this lady in a suit in New York City, and she's like going through like these like alleyways. And I'm like, where are we going? Pull up to we walk up to this big Church of Scientology building. We go inside and I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Apparently, one of my homegirls, the lady in the suit was talking to her.
And she just kept talking.
And she got her to go with them. So then we go into the Church of Scientology building, and then there's like this big auditorium. Yeah. And I think we're going to go, there's people in the auditorium. So I'm like, oh, this is like a thing. They're about to show us this. She's like, we're going to just watch a video and then you can leave. Cool, fine, no problem. We're going to watch the video and then we're going to leave. I'm thinking we're going into the big auditorium where the people are to watch the video. But right before we get to the auditorium, there's a door on the left. We go in that room, and it's just like 4 or 5 chairs and a big computer screen. So then we sit down, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna hit play on the movie. And I'm thinking at least the lady in the suit is going to sit in the room with us. No.
She's going back out to get more people.
She leaves the room and closes the door. And then the video starts. Now, I've never we're sitting in the room, we're watching the video, and I'm looking around, one, of course, for the exits.
You know it.
Paying attention to the
Exits and
to
windows.
the exits. Where else can I get out of here other than this door? There was none. It was just that door. It was just that door. But then I'm like, this looks like the perfect size if we're sitting on a truck bed. So I'm thinking, I'm like, this could very well you could hear an engine turn, and then we just driving off somewhere. Luckily, that is not what happened. We watched the video and then we leave. Tried to sell us a book. I didn't buy it. I was with Will. He didn't buy it. My homegirl, who the lady talked to, she bought the book.
Because she was the one that's going to get shot.
And because she bought the book, she was entitled to a consultation with one of their therapists.
Yeah.
So she goes down to that. And then I'm like, cool, I don't feel comfortable leaving her to go with you anywhere. Because I'm like, her mom, her sister is not going to come looking at us if she goes missing.
Yeah.
But because we didn't buy the book, we couldn't even go. I'm like, we could at least just sit outside the room. Like, we had to stay in the main lobby and wait for her to come back.
I don't like that.
But she was gone for about 15 minutes, but then she came back, and then we went on and did what we were supposed to do. But, they're very powerful, secretive people, so I could understand why Tom Cruise at like 60-something is still able to do his own
movies.
stunts. Yeah, his own stunts in his movies.
That's an interesting story, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Yeah,
couldn't be me.
It was
Couldn't be me.
it was a very interesting night.
Because I told my friend, what are you doing?
Oh no! We let her have it
I'm about to
once
say,
we
all right,
left.
I know y'all did.
Yeah, we let her have it.
How about that? We got discussion.
Yeah, once we left and we're
And
clear,
it was safe.
and off the block, let her have it.
I gotta sit down. with you.
For doing that.
I gotta sit
Still,
down.
randomly to this day, I get mail every now and then from the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, once they
Still get mail from Church of Scientology.
well,
I gotta sit down. You gotta sit down with your friend. I gotta talk to you. We gotta discuss this.
Yeah,
I don't know. What's
I was
going
just
on
like,
at home?
'cause-
I gotta say, what's going on at home with you that you listen to this lady this much?
Yeah, I'm like, what did she do to get you to
go follow her.
To go follow her and go listen to this thing.
So actually, it was a good thing you guys were with her because God only knows
what would have happened
if
She would have joined.
if it was just
She would have joined that
Probably.
day. She would have joined that day.
Yeah.
But maybe Keanu Reeves could join Church Scientology.
No, I think I think he's too airheaded, and he's airheaded enough not to fall for it.
I know.
He will question it too much.
But I'm just saying this because whatever I think the Church of Scientology is doing is helping Tom Cruise continue to do his own stunts, which is why we are still getting Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
I want John Wick 5, but Keanu Reeves just said in an interview that his body won't let him do John Wick 5.
Nah.
I hear you.
So maybe if he joined up with them, he could get whatever procedure Tom Cruise got, and then we could get John Wick 5.
Or Keanu Reeves can go mess with Woody Harrelson, get real holistic, and rejuvenate himself.
He could do that too. Maybe he'll go, or with Mike Tyson, go do an ayahuasca ritual or something. Maybe.
Oh gosh.
Do one of those,
And you figure it out.
and just figure it out. I really want John Wick 5. I understand he died at the end of the fourth one, but nobody ever
his heart
stays
stopped.
dead.
His heart stopped. His heart
And,
he ain't died. His heart just stopped for a little bit.
His heart just stopped for a little bit.
Yeah, they
nobody
brought him
ever-
back. They brought him back.
Nobody ever stays dead in anything.
Yeah.
As evident by the Fast and the Furious movies.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my shirt.
That just made me think of that. Nobody. I watched the car blow up with Han inside. You're not gonna tell me that he was able to get out before that car blew up.
Han had the same technology that Nick Fury had and Winter Soldier.
Is Winter Soldier?
And cut the bottom of the car out into the sewer and dropped it. Just dropped out.
He had to. That's the only way he
What
could
they told us
survive.
in the movie, they said that it was a body double because Mr. Nothing knew that somebody was looking for Han, which that's not what that movie was about.
No.
In Tokyo Drift, nobody was looking for Han.
He was an unknown character.
His unknown character got hit by a random car, but later on, it was Jason Statham looking for Han the whole entire time for some reason, and Mr. Nothing knew, so he had Han have a body double.
Yeah.
Just in case this random white man was coming to get you, even though you were a drug dealer. I'm not saying drug dealer. You were an enforcer for the Yakuza to collect the money, but you got bigger fish to fry for some reason. I would say this: the Fast and Furious franchise is the most compelling franchise to me in my whole entire life.
It's really good.
Because I've watched them I watched it where it was a bunch of thieves stealing VCRs and DVD players in the back of trucks.
Yes.
And now we in outer space in cars.
Yeah,
and
I'm like, what the
and fighting the universal eye that can read everybody through a helicopter. The drastic change is what keeps me compelled to watch. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, because I'm just waiting. I'm almost positive they could have helped them beat Thanos.
I think Don Toretto, give him any type of vehicle, he got it.
Don Toretto in a Mustang that Tony built,
hands down, destroyed Thanos.
Yeah,
no problem,
no doubt.
Especially here's how you do it. You get Don Toretto, you put him in a Mustang, and you tell him that Thanos threw his daughter off a cliff.
Family?
Because you know how Don Toretto feel about family. So you tell him
family.
He killed his family. Family. There goes your movie.
That's exactly how it
There you
happened.
go.
So he's going to turn with a corona. Family.
Family. All right. I know what I got to do.
Oh, man.
And I'm just saying it would have helped. But I think they should find better things to do than have the award shows.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the only I'm a big award show nut. I mean, I'm there with watching it from the red carpet, and it's just like all the glitz and glamour and all that stuff. I kind of like that.
I get that, and I think that we should. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying stop them.
Oh no,
permanently.
Again, but they've just gotten so larger than life, and it's just. It can be too much.
Yeah, I'm just like,
it could be too much.
It seems a little like they can't really read the room.
Yes.
I get the whole putting on a brave, like a brave front,
face.
but again, there are other people other than celebrities
Yeah.
who are affected by this
Yes.
fire, and you
No.
are not putting a brave front
Nope.
on for them.
For them, no.
If you're still letting us know
Exactly.
that nothing has changed.
Yeah, exactly. Do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like switch it up, do something
Do
different
something.
to let me know that you care about
Yeah,
more than just the
do
people in this
something.
room.
Like I said, make it and not. And I'm sure maybe some of the celebrities have made little donations on the side, but no. Make it known. Make it known that, you know what, if you're going to participate in this year's Academy Awards, if you're going to participate in this year, that we're asking every celebrity, everyone who's honored, and everybody who's having a part in this to give, like you said, your version.
$20.
$20.
$20.
Give me
That's a
your
good,
version of $20.
give us your version of 20. So in other words, but so another, I don't mean you just dig in your pocket and you give me $20, but you just like, if you made $5 million this year on the movie that you're being honored for tonight.
Right.
If you've made $5 million, then you give the equivalent of
The $20.
$20 based upon what you
And that
made.
ain't even a lot. Like,
And that's not.
you made $5 million. That's $50,000.
Yeah. Give
That's
that.
$50,000.
Real quick. Just
We're asking everybody to dig deep.
like a house party.
Right.
Like a house
Like a house party.
Whatever. I need your $20 to get
Yeah,
there. That's what I
yeah.
mean.
There you go. Yeah,
Just treat it like that. Real.
yeah. So stuff like that.
She does have this. She does have the simplest course of action. She did bring up a good point. It's a very
Yeah.
simple action they could just do.
Yeah,
Just $20 in the bucket. That's all you got.
That's all you got to do. And let's just help not just us, but
But everybody else. The
Everybody
people,
else.
People who make
Everybody
these
else.
movies for.
yeah.
exactly.
As you claim that you do this art to inspire
to
people.
inspire people and
Let's
yeah,
help
and to
those people out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's make it. Not I won't say hurt, but let's make it count this year. You know, let's do something that
Absolutely.
make it real.
Yeah.
You know, oh, we love our fans. Okay, well,
Show us.
Show us.
Yeah, show
Show
them,
us.
show them that you love them.
Show
Show
'em.
'em. Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
This was good. This was good.
This was
Snacks,
really good.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you
problem,
for
no
coming,
problem. Thank you for
Snaxx.
having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you having
Thank
me
you
on.
so
Thank you
much.
for having us.
We enjoyed the third voice.
Absolutely, and thank you for even
Yeah.
just explaining.
Yeah.
You were a wealth of comic book knowledge that I did
Yes.
not have, so I do appreciate that. We will definitely have you back for more.
All right. I would like to come back after Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, do it.
Let's do it.
Then let's
We will
make that a
definitely do
plan.
it.
I would like
Yeah.
to come after that.
Yeah.
I would like to come back.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely have you back because we got to see what we're gonna have to look at, rewatch this episode, and look at what you said and how much of what how on point you were
Yeah.
with
I'd
your
be scared
predictions.
if I was to a point. I'd be scared. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that I know this much knowledge. I don't like that I have this much knowledge. I don't like that.
Listen, if you are as on point as you were, listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start calling you because
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need to start knowing stuff because I'm gonna need
You know
the
it.
inside. I'm gonna think you have the inside track.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need for you to tell us things. So yeah, this was fun.
This was
And until the next one,
Yeah.
we out.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.